your first time, welcome. If this is not, thanks for coming back. All right, so today I have a reveal story time slash unboxing video about the Prada Monolith boots. So let's get started. I'd been in the market for about a year for some combat boots. I had tried all different price points, all different looks. I wasn't really finding anything I liked. So I ended up buying these initially. I believe they're a knockoff of a Chanel pair that have like pearls on it. They were cute, but they just were too much. So I ended up taking them back. I think around August 23rd, I had went to Nordstrom and I saw the Prada Monolith booth, and I took a picture and I showed them to a friend, and she was like, "Oh, I don't like them. I prefer Prada comes out with a one that's higher on the calf," and she preferred those. And I thought about it. I really had liked them, but I kind of put it in the back of my mind because the price tag was just super high and I didn't know how much I was going to wear them. So I ended up buying another pair from Zara. Yeah. So these are the ones I bought from Zara, and they are definitely a knockoff of the Prada Monolith boot, but they just didn't compare. They cut me off at the wrong place on my ankle. I wore them once to take these pictures, and they were trashed. Like the leather, I think they weren't 100% leather, so I bent over or squatted or something, and the leather just completely came off. Luckily for me, I was able to take them back to Zara, show that I wore them once, and they kind of considered it a defect and they took it back. Thank God. So November rolls around and I have no combat boots. I have not made any decisions. And I think what was frustrating was I had shot some looks that I thought to myself, this would be perfect for some combat boots. But I hadn't made a decision and I hadn't found anything that I had liked as much as I liked the Prada Monolith boots. So Thanksgiving weekend rolls around. I went to Arizona to visit my family that lives out there. And Black Friday, a friend and I just pop in the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, and she wants to go to the Prada store. So we go, and in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I wonder if they have the Monolith boots. Salesperson greets us at the door, asks, are we looking for anything in particular? And I tell them that I'm looking for the Monolith boots. And the salesperson replies and says, oh, we have them. We only have one pair left. And I'm like, oh, what size? And they tell me a 9.5, which is my size. And I'm overjoyed because up until this point, I had seen them in August and I'd seen them all over the internet, all over IG, but I had never tried them on. I'd only held them in my hand one time, and I really, really wanted to decide, like, do I really have that feeling about them? Because I've been thinking about them, seeing them, and I felt like it was holding me back from buying other boots. Another thing that was keeping me from buying them is that they had gone up at least $100 in price from when I first saw them in August. And actually, when I saw them in August, they were only available for pre-order, and I wasn't able to try on a pair. I think it was just a pair that I could see. So, this was my chance, and I tried them on in this picture, and I feel like I legit kept them on for like 5 minutes trying to decide if I really liked them. So here they are, and I must say, when I tried them on, I legit was in love. Like, the leather is so plush. I think my only concern initially when I was talking to the salesman was the sole. Like, I am one of those people, I overpronate, and this part of my heels always wears out. And so I'm like, what cobbler is really going to come in and resole this? And the salesperson informed me that this sole is so tough that it's not going to wear down very much, if at all. So that was one thing that I liked about them. I also love the fact that these little pouches are detachable. So I love the look. I think it's a great look, but I feel like if ever I just want them to be regular combat boots or the style kind of goes away, I can just kind of take that off and it's just good to go, right? So yeah, but let me tell you, I legit love these boots. Love, love, love. I was in the store for like 10 minutes trying to decide, like, is this something I really want to splurge on? Is this, because you know, no one has an infinite amount of money. Even if you have all the money in the world, you still have to make decisions. And for me, I felt like this was something where I had tried almost all of the other options, and I had an emotional reaction to these pair. So I figured out I'm gonna have to make this work somehow, because I was just gonna either be combat bootless or I was gonna get these. There was no other option. And at the time, they were basically pretty much sold out except for this pair. So I was like, is that a sign? I know that's the biggest cliche, right? Is it a sign that it's the only ones? God sent me a sign. But yeah, so I ended up buying them, and I've been very happy. So what actually made me splurge on these were two things, right? One is that they're just really a good classic combat boot. If you get rid of the pouch, it's still a classic combat boot, but it also has things that make it unique, stand out. You know, it's the chunky sole that makes it unique. It's the Prada nylon mixed with the nice leather. It's this height. It's just a special pair of shoes, right? Another reason I was initially, I thought I was gonna wait and maybe try to get them on resale, but this was one of those products that is actually selling for more on resale, because right now it's sold out for the most part. You know, occasionally you'll see them pop back up, but they're sold out, and so people are sometimes listing them for $500 to $1,000 more, and I didn't want to have to wait, you know, until basically the end of the winter and actually have to get a pair that somebody's already worn, and they're going to be more than this. So that was another reason. I was just like, oh, I can get these for retail, because when I looked, they were actually selling for more than retail. So it was one of those things where I was like, you know, I feel like I know I'm going to want them, and so it behooves me to get them for retail, brand new, now, than wait a year or two and then still have to pay more for something that somebody's worn. So that's kind of why I did it. Let me know if you have any questions about the shoe, the other ones that I purchased, you know, or anything like that. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. Like this video, please subscribe, do all the things. All right, bye.